Chapter 23. On Sunday afternoon, Fiza and I take a walk in the neighborhood, and Moti follows us. Fiza has brought Moti a bone. Are you trying to bribe him? I ask. Moti crunches it in minutes and stays close to Fiza afterward. Moti loves me more, says Fiza. Traitor, I say to Moti. As we walk around, I notice things that I didn't think much that I didn't think much about before working at the high rise. First of all, our streets are barely streets. They're more like alleys. And the deeper you go into our neighborhoods, the narrower they become. Our electric lines are not in neat rows. Instead, huge clumps of them hang over houses. But worst of all, we don't have swept sidewalks, and there are piles of trash everywhere. And while some of the smells on the street are good, a lot are not. But we take pride in keeping ourselves neat and clean. And I know a bunch of people have started a movement to clean up our streets. I wish our neighborhood was tidier right now, but none of this makes us any different. We work as hard as anybody in any other world, and so many people I know have their own businesses, making clothes or food or doing laundry or recycling. And maybe we even have more fun when we play games and sing and rap and dance our hearts out. Sunday is my favorite day because everyone has a little time for fun. One of the kids is playing cricket on our lane. One of the kids playing cricket on our lane whacks the ball and scores a 4. Everyone cheers and the boy beams with pride. The women gathered under the banyan tree where Shanti tells stories look like they are enjoying themselves as they gossip and shell peas. At, at the end of our street, one of the uncles has run an extension cord and placed a TV outside his house for everyone to watch. Gully Boy plays on the screen. Ranveer Singh is rapping. The houses in neighborhood look like mine in this movie, which is rare. Most Bollywood films are shot in homes that look like Pinkies. Fiza and I loop back to my house and sit on the stoop. I tell Fiza about Priya Didi and learning to code, and that we'll learn to build apps. I've missed sharing everything that happens to me with Fiza, so I paint every detail, including what Priya Didi wears and how she always drinks water from a tin water bottle. Then Fiza surprises me. Do you think you could talk about something other than Priya Didi all the time? What? I don't talk about her all the time. Fiza rolls her eyes. I'm sorry if I do, but if you met her, you'd know why, I tell Fiza. She's like a really cool big sister and talks to us like we're her equals. That's nice, she says. But between your job and Pinky and her horrible grandmother and now Priya Didi, you've never asked me how I am. I'm lost for words. App snap, what is that? She says. I start to explain, but Fiza was waving me away. I'm kidding. I don't want to know. Sound of crows cawing at sunset and honking cars fill the silence. But I don't know what to say to fill in this new gap between me and Fiza. My life and hers were alike. Then my life changed so much that I barely recognize it. I was worried that if I didn't tell her things, soon she wouldn't know me. But I forgot to ask Fiza about her life. I guess I assumed that because her life isn't upside down like mine, she wouldn't have things to share. So now I ask, Fiza, have you learned any new dance steps? Why, yes I have, she says, and I was chosen to be in a performance. But right now, we should probably be focused on exams. I'm terrified I might fail tomorrow. Do you have an app to fix that? Wait, what are you talking about? I say. The exam is still 2 weeks away. Fiza looks at me like I've lost my mind. Then she gets up and shakes my shoulders. Minnie, the exam might be 2 weeks away, but the practice test is tomorrow. Remember, it's the review packet test. Miss Shaw told us the other day that if we do well, she'll give us bonus points on the real exam. What? I say. When did she tell us that? On Monday, Fiza says. She wrote it on the blackboard. Monday. That must have been another one of the days that I was late. Thank goodness I have Shiva secretly letting me in. He's had to about 3 or 4 times now. After that first day, he said he could only slip one of us in, not both. Fiza needs to be there on time. But we would have figured that out anyway. One of us has to keep up. I slumped down. The look on Fiza's face says she is realizing what happened too. Then Miss Shaw erased the board and started to write the important dates for Indian independence. I must have gotten in after you erased the board, I say. Fiza, what are we going to do? I'm not ready for a test tomorrow. But you're so smart, Minnie. You know a lot of this stuff by heart, she says. Me, though, I need all the help I can get, so let me run and get my books, and we'll study. When Fiza returns, we start studying. She's right that I know a lot of the material well, but smaller details and dates of events can get jumbled in my stressed mind. The sun sinks. The light over the ceiling comes on. We memorize. We read. We test each other. I help Fiza with the speed and distance problems. Finally, near midnight, Fiza's older brother comes to walk her home. I climb into my loft space and fall into bed, but I'm almost too exhausted to sleep. Fiza was right. The computer class opened a door into a fairy tale world, and I forgot my reality, which is far from magical.